Greetings, viewers. We're going to do a video of something that will never be in my house because, well, not only are they hard to find, but they're very pricey, and I never, as a rule of thumb, spend really more than $100 on a vintage machine. But this is an original 20th anniversary Macintosh. A friend of mine scoffed this up for the bargain price of how much?
I think it was right around $1,800.
$1,800, a little more than I paid for my i7 MacBook Pro. It's got the original, of course, power supply subwoofer combo, the original keyboard with an authentic leather. Is that real leather?
I think it was.
It looks to be real leather. Palm rests, a detachable trackpad. Looks like they took some design cues from the original Mac Portable.
Which I believe actually, if you turn this over, you can see that this will detach from there. The trackpad can slide out.
Okay.
So that way, if you wanted to run it on the side, you could. And then it's got this little piece in here that can
fill in the blank.
Fill in the blank
Very
space.
Nice. So you might have seen this machine on the set of the Seinfeld show. Other than that, I think I've seen them pop up in a few movies here and there. Can you think of any?
Actually, you know what was on? It was on MTV's The Real World a while back.
Yeah.
I remember that because my sister, that's pretty much the only channel she watched in high school.
All right. Now, they sold new for over 10 grand, but they didn't sell very well for obvious reasons, so they
were very expensive, and for what you got, it was you could get four computers for that price.
So as a quick walk around, we've got a CD drive on the front, and let's see.
CD drive, Bose speakers, so Apple worked with Bose on that, which is why there's a separate subwoofer.
Yeah.
So what's kind of funky about this is it's a subwoofer and the power supply. There's no computer in there. It's all on here. So what's kind of interesting too is this was several years before the flat panel iMac.
That's true. It actually, I think the monorail all-in-one, which I have one, was the first desktop with a flat screen monitor. Even before the, actually, I think it was predeceased. Came out 2 years, I think, before this did, and so unfortunately, sorry Apple, but you don't have the title for the first flat screen at a desktop. But hey, in design, they definitely won. Yep. But on the back, we have, I don't have very much light. This is not a good low light camera, but we have a typical 25-pin SCSI port that you'd find in any Mac from that time period. We've got headphone, microphone, FM tuner, and a TV tuner as well. And it looks like all the ports are hidden up in the side here. All the other ones?
This is the one part that I don't have pristine on this machine, so there is a panel that goes over this, but the plastic from its age cracked as soon as I tried to snap it on.
So that'll house your ADP and serial ports. It's got this nice stand. Is that metal?
Yep, it's aluminum. This thing actually weighs quite a bit.
It looks it. There's a floppy drive on the side, and well, go ahead. I'll let you power it on. And
one of the most interesting things about this is the power on sound. This is custom for this particular machine.
That was worth $10,000, I think, right? Wouldn't you?
Sure.
Amazing. When I first saw one of these, it was, as I mentioned before, it was on the Seinfeld show, and I didn't know what it was. I couldn't tell what, I mean, it looked like some object from outer space. I wasn't a Mac person then, so I didn't really read the Mac articles and such, but age-wise, it's about the same age as the G3 Kanga, and like the G3 Kanga, it is also a G3-based system. And it has a very slow startup, like the Kanga does. Yep. Interesting. But everything else is what you would expect from a typical Mac from the time period in terms of performance, right? I mean, they really weren't.
It's a 250 G3. It's got an 800 by 600. I believe it's a 12-inch display. Came with a 4 gig hard drive. This one actually I've upgraded it to a 40, and also maxed out the RAM to 128 megabytes.
Now the hard drive, was that a 2.5 or 3.5?
3.5.
Okay, and you know what? That would have been IDE because that was after Apple switched to IDE.
Now the interesting thing is, so this being a very multimedia-centric Mac. You've got TV tuner button right here, channel up and down for the TV tuner right on it. It also has a remote that I've got in the box.
Okay.
But what's interesting is when you set this to 640 by 480, it doesn't actually scale the monitor. It has black bars.
Just
around.
like any laptop from the time period, yeah. Actually, Windows laptops have the same problem because LCDs were not scalable originally, and now they're only scalable through software, I believe. They have a native resolution.
So you can see if I do that. So the typical computers now, when you switch the resolution, it'll just scale that to full screen, and you'll get a little bit of a blur effect. But on this, you can see it'll just give you 640 by 480, but with black bars.
Yeah, that sounds about normal.
So if we want to jump into multimedia on here, we'll go for the best game of the time, which was Riven, the sequel to Myst.
Yep.
Open this up, you can hear the sound, which probably through the camera probably won't sound that great.
May get a better angle on it. And because this game was written for 640 by 480 resolution, I think. Yeah. It's impressive even for today in terms of sound quality. And one thing that struck me is the quality of the LCD on this is superb, even for 1997.
Another reason why it sold for 10 grand.
Yeah, I mean, Apple never spared any expense on their displays. Even their CRTs were usually some of the best. They used Sony Trinitrons for many years. But, wow. The color depth, when you get it right on, the color is just amazing. It's more accurate than anything I'm used to from that time. And this can adjust up and down?
Yep, it's a bit of a stiff adjustment, so you
Okay.
need to hold the base as you rotate it.
Gotcha.
So, I'm going to skip through all this stuff.
Does this game natively install to the drive, or do you need a hack to run it without a CD?
You do need to change a couple of things to run it without a CD, but it's not a very difficult hack. It's actually just changing an INI file, essentially.
That's all
the
it
Mac
is,
version of it, yeah. It's just a text file that you open up and
Yeah.
you point it to the hard drive instead of the CD drive.
A lot of old games are like that.
So what I'm trying to get to here is...
Honestly, guys, this camera does this display no justice. It is one of the most sharp, crisp LCDs I've seen in a while.
And it's 20 years old.
And it's 20 years old. Oh wow, that was 20 years ago.
Well, 19
Holy
now.
shit.
yeah, this is almost 20 years old.
Holy shit. Oh wow. Okay.
So what I want to show you here, just so you can see a little bit of animation, is the maglev, which is outside. So should be coming up in a second. So let's fast forward through this part so we can get on it. Maybe. There we go.
It's not really capturing it. There we go. There we go. That's better. That's very smooth. Now, when was this game released?
1997.
Okay.
Same year as the computer.
Got it. That's superb. Very cool.
So then outside of this... Uh-oh.
Oh, dang.
I'll just do that.
So you ever tell your coworkers you bought a new $1,800 computer that's 20 years old?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what's kind of cool with this is using an old version of iTunes, because it's a multimedia computer.
Yeah.
You can take advantage of the Bose system, which by today's standards, I probably killed it by force quitting Riven.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
just do that.
you get to hear the startup sound again.
Yeah.
Can you show us the optical drive, which is quite unique?
Yeah, so what's interesting about this is it's not like any other Apple Drive, which either is a slot load or tray. This one has front load. So one of the flaws in this design are these tiny little clips here, and these are one of the first things to break on these machines. So I'm very careful when I close this to put even pressure on both of them.
Absolutely. And as you know, ABS plastic is brittle over time, so definitely something to watch out for.
Especially when this too is painted as well to
Oh,
get the metallic flakes.
yeah.
So this will scratch very easily.
I kind of wonder if, I mean, well, Apple wouldn't have any service parts left for these. They scrap everything after 5 years, but I'm sure somebody may at one point bought up whatever parts were left. I was able to find certain parts for my 20-year-old, well, now it's 26-year-old PowerBook. New old stock display housings and everything. You usually find those parts from small Apple shops, you know, from the time period. They would stock up on things. But
It's almost painful watching this boot, seeing as the MacBook Pros now boot in under 10 seconds.
I know. I was I was just replacing a logic board in a what the hell was that thing? A MacBook Air, and I had the whole job done in about as much time as it takes this to boot.
Okay, so let's try iTunes once more. Go back to the 90s, play some Matchbox 20.
Good place to be.
So interestingly enough, the speakers, it looks like it's this whole thing.
Yep.
But I think it's actually just this little tiny thing right here and right here.
Really?
I think. Yeah, and they might be at the bottom. Yeah, they're just tiny little speakers.
Just two?
And I don't remember if this comes out. I think it actually, you need to do it from the back. But,
Yeah.
yeah, when you see this with the grills removed, it's just these tiny little, like maybe 1-inch speakers.
Oh, wow.
They're very small.
You have to kill the sound, I'm sorry. Otherwise
sure.
it'll get picked
Sure.
up in the...
So the other thing, again, with this machine was that it was a multimedia machine, so there's actually a TV tuner in it and a button to access that right on the computer itself. So this can't really be used today without a digital converter box because it is an analog input. So right now on channel 2 I'm just getting fuzz, and if I change the channel, it'll do the same thing.
Yeah.
But I believe you can go full screen with it. I don't remember the key commands for this.
Largest size?
Larger, and then I thought that you were able to go full screen.
I don't know why you wouldn't. Oh, but it also does capturing as well, which is nice. Yep.
Yep. So that's a whole bunch of snow.
It's still pretty damn cool.
So the other thing about this machine is, actually I'll shut this down before I start moving it.
Oh yeah, one of the other little tidbits is when you bought this new, I believe they would send it over in a limo and then set it up for you.
That was an option. I believe there were only maybe 2 or 3 people that actually took advantage
Oh really?
of that. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you look at this kind of from the top, you'll see that this is actually very thin, and there was a separate piece that you could put on the back here. They called it the Fatback, and what that allowed you to do was add extra peripherals to it, add PCI cards, which could allow USB on it as well as wireless.
And you have one of those, right?
I've got the Fatback, but I don't have any of the cards.
Could we see it? You don't have to mount it, but...
Yeah, it'll take me a couple minutes to dig it out.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, if you're all right with that.
Yeah.
So here's the box.
And I haven't opened this up since I took this out, so I have no idea what's in it.
Okay.
Or what it looks like. So it looks like there's some. Oh yeah. So each one of these boxes is numbered. Okay. So as you know, typical Apple fashion, they want the unboxing to be a fun experience.
Right.
So there's actually no. This one comes out next.
Naturally.
This one feels heavy, so this is probably where everything is.
Okay.
I think the others are empty.
Okay.
Because this is what the computer was in, and it's actually got. Actually, I'll open this up. It's kind of cool. It's got a. It's got a foam pad that actually matches the computer. So it sits in here very nicely. All these things contour to it. Obviously, I don't have anything aligned in there, but it fits in there real nice. So you got these handles. You lift the whole computer out of the box, and then you can very easily access it.
Very cool.
And then putting it back together is kind of like a puzzle. Okay, this was there. So this is where everything else is, and I believe I've got the original hard drive in this as well.
Okay.
So actually, let's slide this back a little bit so I can open this up.
Sure.
So this is the original memory that came with it. This is the 32 megs, I believe. This is the plastic that I broke. You can see there's a clip there and a clip there that broke. But this is what goes on the back.
Yeah.
Here's the original hard drive.
Yep. That would have been a 2 gig. Wow, that's it?
Oh, was it 2 gig?
Okay,
2 gig. Yeah, 2 gig.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then I don't know what this is. Maybe some PCI card. I don't know. I didn't actually open it.
It came with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know what that is. So this is a S-video adapter.
Yep.
And then I don't remember what this piece goes to. That's one of the snap-on pieces that I believe works
Yeah.
with this guy. But
Oh, there's
some more goodies.
There's a leather-bounded
So here's a
CD
PCI card of some sort. I don't know what this does.
PCI riser.
Riser. Okay. So this is
That would be
the remote.
Okay. Are there batteries in it?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, good.
Triple A.
Good.
Yeah. But I have tried it. It does work.
Yeah.
It does basically it's got the same buttons that the computer does in the front: volume up and down, channel up and down.
Yep.
And then the button to turn on the TV tuner.
Very cool. The user's manual, is that like hardcover? No, it's not.
It's just really big.
Oh, for a second I thought that was hardcover.
But it's got kind of a neat texture on it.
Oh, yeah.
But
Like
yeah, it's quite detailed.
Very much. That's so
So
cool.
and you can see too, it's actually got all the information on how to take everything apart. But I can feel the binding kind of separating because this thing has been sitting in the box for 20 years.
Yeah.
There's that. Let's see what else is under here.
Registration card, vellum paper, and a random drive setup. Okay.
And the original stickers.
And the original rainbow stickers. That's damn cool.
And then in here, it's got
OS 8.
OS 8 that comes with it. Obviously, you saw OS 9 is on there.
Yep.
Here's the original CDs with software.
Yep.
Welcome tour. So they've got an app that goes on there that will goes through all the different features.
Yeah.
So the QuickTime Showcase, this is actually a collection of videos because again, it's designed to be a multimedia Mac. Funny enough, there's a couple music videos on here. One of them is Depeche Mode.
Oh, nice.
Virtual Pool. I don't know what this is. It just fell out.
The Bose.
Oh, this is this is the there's a CD in here. Yeah, so there's a Bose CD, and it's just a label for that.
It must have all these sampled. Okay, that's exactly what it is. Just sample tracks.
Yeah, and then extra pockets for your own CDs.
That's so awesome. Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
No, actually, put that back in there.
No.
So again, more reasons why this thing went for 10 grand because there are all these custom things. So think
of
volumes. Making these custom things and only making a couple thousand of them.
I have a theory that they came up with a price before they came up with the machine, and they're like, we need a machine that costs 10 grand. How can we do that? Oh, here's your antenna.
Oh, cool. I can.
Perfect. Now you can hear the FM radio.
Yeah, I'll give that a shot. So this piece, what did this do? Oh, this is the modem.
It wasn't internal?
Guess not.
Okay then.
Geoport Telecom 2.
Ah, so that's the Fatback.
So
okay.
This is the Fatback.
So in
that
conjunction,
panel comes off,
yeah.
And this one goes on the back.
Okay. So you use that in conjunction with that riser card that you pulled. There it is. Yeah. Okay.
And I don't think there's anything under there.
No.
It's just empty space.
Well,
So that's it. So yeah.
That's
we'll try out the FM tuner.
That's crazy.
So yeah, Apple gave you lots of junk with this one.
Well, I mean, industry-wide, no matter what computer you bought, if it was in the 90s, you at least got a spindle full of CDRs that had random crap that you didn't want.
and about 5 AOL CDs.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, I did a video on setting up a new AOL account, and the guy I spoke to didn't know how. Because they're so used to canceling accounts. They aren't trained to open new ones. Well, I thank you very much for allowing me and my viewing audience to see this. This is a rare opportunity, and
No problem.
do appreciate it.
Stick around, we'll play with the FM tuner.
All right. So now we're testing out the FM tuner. He found the antenna that belongs to it.
So it says it's coming in stereo. I don't hear anything. That's DX.
That's long distance.
Okay.
Why don't you change the, go back to options and change the signal strength to anything or all stations. At least you'll hear static.
Although Apple may have been smart enough to not allow you to hear static.
Maybe. Try 1 to 1.1. That'll always
This
come
is the strongest one. This is right out of Manchester.
So, really, I've only...
Yeah. Yeah, so it's seeing them. Preferences.
That's odd.
Well, never mind then.
Huh. Yeah, I don't even hear static.
Unless maybe it's like one of those old things in the sound control panel. You have to switch the input.
Could be. Input. Input source. Ah.
Maybe output. Built-in speaker set.
Go back to input. CD, TV, video. Try sound. No, wait, hold on. External built-in mics. CD. Sound in. No. Oh, you know what? That just controls the input plug in the back.
Yeah.
No, that's it.
Think back to your old Mac days. Can you think of anything else that would be causing that? Probably not in monitors. I know there was monitors and sound and.
No, there wasn't. It should just work. Let's go back to it.
It's like the CD, Apple CD player. There's just not many options.
All right, take a look.
Sure.
All right, let's see if we can't. They go up or down.
I think those are just your presets.
All right.
So you can seek, and it's finding stations that I know.
Yeah, they're all coming in.
It's coming in stereo. That's going to be blaring.
I think I can. Oh yeah, good point. I think I can hear something.
You might be hearing.
It's not needed.
Nope.
I can hear machine static, but
yeah, which is actually classic of this machine to have a little bit of a buzz.
Yeah.
I wonder if this does the same thing. No.
That's brightness, right?
Nope, this is for a TV tuner.
Oh wait, turn that up again.
It does that when you change the channel.
Looks like it was muted or something.
So it's telling you that you can't do that because this one's open. So I'll bring this up.
Wait a minute, maybe that's why the FM tuner doesn't work. Exit the TV tuner completely.
Yeah, it was. It was gone.
Oh, it was.
Yep. Help center.
Yeah.
Go away. Guide. Why can't I listen to radio broadcasts? Okay.
Nice broad. To begin, plug in the antenna.
Make sure you're properly attached. Yep. Okay.
Oh.
Apple Video Player, be sure that it's set to TV and not to cable. Okay. So, if we open up, move that over here.
You don't have any other apps.
Apple Video Player, Apple Video Player. And let's see, we are set to if we set the video source to video, no. Does it have us video? It's got us video. Let's try that. So what's interesting now is I'm not getting my normal sounds either.
Do you have the platinum sounds turned on? Oh,
There we go.
yeah.
Volume I can get.
Well, we got it working. We don't know how, but it just started working randomly. So that's good news. Well, we got the radio working. It sounds terrific. So once again, thanks, Derek, for your time, and hopefully my viewers will enjoy this because you're never going to see it again.